say, because there's so many things about art that is really magical, but I think the most important thing about art is that it's everywhere. If you look around and around your house, around outside, maybe in a city, like you have murals, you have apps that have art, and everything is made with art. Like there's some form of connection. So I feel like the most thing that I enjoy most about art, besides art making, is that it connects to the world, it connects to the universe, like everything is art. So to me, I think that's pretty magical.
I like the creativity and the opportunity you get to make stuff.
Classroom is like top tier. We be making like Play-Doh things, and sometimes we hit each other with them for fun. Sometimes it gets in your face and your hands and your nails. You just get really down to dirty, and that's what I like.
Does this have any connection to why you want to teach art?
I don't know. I think that when I was in high school, I was kind of worried because there's the whole like starving artist thing. But teaching middle school, so much fun. I love it. It's great. It's definitely inspiring to teach with kids and work with kids your age.
What do you do as an artist?
So as a personal artist myself, my primary focus is painting and drawing. I like to dabble in sculpture, and I just took a class, my master class on 3D printing, which was very cool. Very complicated, but very cool. But my primary focus is mostly painting and drawing. I like to do really giant murals, as you can see in the schools. And yeah, I think that's, for me as an artist, that's what I feel connected to the most. And things that are very expressive. So I like to paint with palette knives. I don't like to make straight lines.
When you do like draw stuff, do you need any talent for it, or is it just you can do it without any?
So here's the thing about art and talent and all this kind of stuff. I feel that there's this misconception of art where, oh, I can't even draw a stick figure, therefore I'm not good at art, I can't do this. Like you're automatically deciding that you can't do it. And art isn't necessarily about being a good drawer or being a good painter. It's all about how you see the world. Art can be many different things to different people. And with art in itself, you don't have to have like a specific talent for it. You might be highly skilled in one area, which will be good if that's what you want to go in. But you don't need talent or skill to be a certain kind of artist, if that makes sense.
When you do like actually do art, when people think that you have to have your own type of design to it, is that pretty much you're just picking up on other people's ways of doing art and then making it your own, or is that you completely make your own?
So I think when it comes to art and artists, all kind of, I wouldn't say steal ideas or take things, but we definitely get inspiration from other artists, like different kinds of styles of art in different time periods. And I think like you kind of develop your own style and then find things along the way that inspire you that also help enhance your style and your ideas for like design. So I wouldn't say that you're necessarily taking, but you definitely look at other artwork for inspiration, and then you apply it and adapt it into your work, because art is constantly changing all the time.
For art, do you have to actually have any realism to it, or can it be full-on fantasy or full-on realism?
So like I was saying before, art can really be whatever it wants to be. But then again, art is in the eye of the beholder. I might say art isn't necessarily always realism, it's about the expression of the artist, and how they feel and how they connect to the earth and all that kind of stuff. But then you might come along and say, well, I don't like art that doesn't look like anything, blah, blah, blah. So it really depends on the person. So depending on who your audience is and what people enjoy looking at, like they might like your style if you're really into fantasy art. They might really enjoy that and might put it in an illustration, or they might, you know, I wouldn't say like realism is important when it comes to observational drawing. If you're learning how to draw, it's good to learn how to draw realistically in the beginning. But as you get older and the more you experience as an artist, you can kind of like pick and choose what you want to do. Like for me as an artist, I work with realism, but not hyper-realism where it looks like a photograph. I make things look realistic, but from an abstract perspective where it's more about color and expression rather than this looks like a photograph. Because there are artists out there where I'm looking at the canvas and I'm like, wow, that is crazy. But people might look at that and say that is realistic, and then other people might say that doesn't mean art to me. So it's kind of every style has its own unique qualities to it. Of course, there are more styles that I like more than others, but it really depends on each person.
And then for a final question, is there any hints about art that would make it a little bit easier for people?
You mean like to create? Or?
Yeah, like to create their own type of drawings that they would like to do.
I think a lot of it's just trial and error. I mean, you gotta it's kind of like a sport. You gotta try things, practice. With art, a lot of times, like I went through a lot of different phases in my artwork. Like Picasso, he has the blue period and he has the rose period, and then he started taking shapes and making it into all different kinds of things. And basically, like, artists kind of go through phases because they're trying to see what works and what doesn't work. And, you know, I think it's okay to do that. It's okay to experiment. There's no right or wrong answers with art, which is why I love art so much, because you could try something and hate it, start it over, and then you try it again in a different way, and then all of a sudden something sparks, and you kind of go with it. So a lot of it is just trial and error, trying different things, and just kind of like losing the expectation that it has to be perfect and it has to be a certain way, and leaving it open for a lot of opportunities and options. And that kind of helps develop your own unique style, the way how you view art, what you think art means to you, and taking in all of your inspirations from